Well, in the studio with me this morning, I have a couple of guests. We have Tiffany Wilson and Leanne Hiebert, both representing today the Manitoba Registered Music Teachers Association, which will henceforth be known as MRMTA, just for the it's just for the sake of the tongue twister name this morning. So welcome to you both. Welcome, Tiffany, and welcome, Leanne.
Good morning.
Now, it's you guys are going to talk about a number of things, but I think it's good to start out. We'll start with you, Leanne. You're the current president of the MRMTA.
Correct.
And you guys have been around for a number of years. This is your 100th year.
Yes, we are celebrating our centennial next year.
Absolutely. So tell us first of all a little bit about the history of the organization and where you guys are at now.
Well, in the year 1919, that auspicious year, the music teachers, I have an article right here from the Winnipeg Tribune in 1919.
I remember that paper.
You do, don't you? And it says here, music teachers of Winnipeg are fully organized. So we were busy organizing, and one of those founding members was actually Eva Claire. So anyone in the city who has been to Eva Claire Hall knows that name.
So tell us about the organization. What exactly is it?
Well, we are a group of music teachers, and we are registered music teachers. So that means we are qualified teachers with education and experience, and professionals who have pedagogy training. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a teacher for your kids or yourself, you can go onto our website, and we are a list of qualified teachers. We provide professional development opportunities for teachers, as well as performance opportunities for those teachers' students.
So how does if I'm a teacher, for example, how do I go about getting registered with the MRMTA?
Well, you have to complete a registration form and send in your credentials of your music training, your music education, as well as providing some pedagogy, proof that you've studied a bit of pedagogy.
Mm-hmm. So there's great advantages to using an organization like the MRMTA as opposed to just sort of Googling online, harmonica teacher or something like that, or trumpet teacher, right?
Sure, and hopefully we come up if you do Google that. And we do also require our teachers to have a criminal record check. Mm-hmm. So that's another.
And child abuse registry.
Yes.
And child abuse registry check. So what kind of instruments do you offer there?
Well,
just listed a number.
Everything really. Predominantly, of course, piano is probably the main instrument that's offered there. Also, vocal training, as well as strings and woodwinds. Mm-hmm. I don't know that we have any brass at the moment or percussion. We're working on getting some guitar teachers in there.
We do have a category for djembe.
Oh, djembe!
So
any djembe teachers who want to register with us,
register with us. And fully qualified, yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of cool. So obviously it's all different types of music. Yeah. I mean, MRMTA, people think of, music lessons as perhaps classical music, but it's classical and pretty much...
Well, I'd say yes, predominantly classical, but, we, as any music teacher does, you kind of cater to the student that you're teaching and provide what you can for them.
We do have jazz specialists. Mm-hmm. So they usually on our website, they will list what they teach specifically. So if you go to the website looking for a specific type of teacher, you'll find them listed there.
Okay. Tiffany, now that you've got the microphone in front of you. No, that's okay. You're past president of the MRMTA, and you're taking on the whole national. You're taking on the whole country now.
The whole country, yes.
So how long has that been?
I'm in my second year of my term. Mm-hmm. It is a 2-year term, much like MRMTA.
Okay. So what is your role as opposed to just MRMTA? We're looking at the whole national
Well, every
scope.
province and one territory. We have 10 provinces and one territory, Yukon, that are members of the Canadian Federation of Music Teachers Associations. And my role is to provide communication and, how can I say this? To be present in the provinces and listen to their concerns, advocate for the provinces. I go out. I've been to 6 provinces and 1 territory this year, just to make sure that we're communicating and providing new programs to all of the provinces that are national programs.
You're listening to, that's Tiffany Wilson. She is the past president of the MRMTA and current president of the national or Canadian Federation of Music Teachers Organizations. So what are some of the challenges facing your organization now?
Always to stay current, but we recently hired a strategic planner who came in and worked with us, and as a result, we are now providing professional development for all of our music teachers across Canada. Every member of the provincial is a RMT, which stands for Registered Music Teacher, and every single member is welcome to participate in the national programs as well as their own provincial programs. So those programs include video resources on our website. We just started and are accepting applications for an e-music festival, which is new this year. So staying current, I think, would be our biggest problem, but one that we are head on, forging ahead. I think of Eva Claire creating MRMTA and celebrating our 100th anniversary and thinking, you know what, we're going into another 100 years of MRMTA and taking part in a national organization which started in 1935, a little bit later than MRMTA. We are the originators of this type of organization. And it's just really fascinating to think another 100 years, what's going to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So you also there's events that are associated with the MRMTA and also the Canadian Federation of Music Teachers organization. There is an upcoming scholarship competition. Would you like to talk about that, Leanne?
Sure. At the end of January, from the 28th to the 30th, we have our annual MRMTA scholarship competition that involves students from the junior levels to advanced levels in piano, in vocal competitions, as well as instrumental competitions.
So how does one go about entering that?
Well, you have to be a student of an MRMTA teacher, and then you can enter.
Okay, so that's at the end of this month, January 28th, I believe, to January 30th. Now, the winners of that competition go on to the national stage, correct?
That's correct. The advanced winners do. So that the advanced, every second year, the national organization holds a conference. And it's very exciting that next year in 2019, Winnipeg is going to be hosting that conference.
It is 2019,
It is 2019.
Oh my goodness! That's right!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, a little late. Anyways, those advanced winners of the piano and of the vocal will be going on to the national competition, which will be held this year at our conference. And I'll let Tiffany speak to that in a minute.
Yep.
But just to let you know that on Monday, January 28th, the public is invited to come and hear these preliminary competitions. And we have 8 pianists vying for the national spot. So that's going to be an exciting day of piano music. You're welcome to come in for just $3. You can enter for the day. You can hear some great piano music from these university students. It's going to be at Sterling Mennonite Fellowship, 1008 Dakota Street. And then the vocal, when is that vocal? There's advanced voice is Tuesday the 29th at 2:45 p.m. So those are particular competitions that you might want to come and hear. And the gala concert featuring all these winners will be on Sunday, February 3rd.
Okay, and all the details are at mrmta.org as well. I'm not expecting listeners to memorize necessarily, so that's easiest way. So we'll talk briefly about the national competition, Tiffany.
So the national competition, the host province of the conference is invited to every second year we have the national piano competition, and then the host province decides if they want to open up another competition, which we chose to have a vocal competition because we have a very big vocal community here, and wonderful members of our organization like Tracy Dahl who are participating with their students. So it's just another way that we could give back to our teachers and offer opportunities. What's the question again?
You're just talking about the national competition.
Okay. Yeah. And so every province has this same type of a scholarship competition, chooses their winner, and they all congregate here in July.
So it's in July, okay.
Yeah. So it's at the Fort Garry Hotel, thank you, July 3rd to 6th. And the finals will be judged by professional, international performers and singers, pianists, whatever themselves. So I don't know if you want to talk about the jurors there.
Sure.
Maybe you should.
Okay, yeah.
I'll pass it over.
Okay, well.
Just wanted to remind people who I'm chatting with. I'm talking to a couple of members of the MRMTA, Tiffany Wilson, who is the past president. She is the current Canadian Federation of Music Teachers president. And Leanne, who's about to speak now, she is the current president of MRMTA. She's going to tell us about some of the judges.
Yes, so we have originally from Winnipeg, Douglas Finch is coming in to judge the piano, as well as Dr. Scott Meek. He's also a former Winnipegger, as is John Greer, who's coming in as a vocal juror. And then some other names that people might know are Adrienne Piachanka and Russell Braun, as well as Dr. Christine Vanderkoy. So they will be coming
names
to judge this competition as well as perform at our at a gala concert.
Well, it will be our birthday concert.
100th anniversary.
We have our celebration.
Well, congratulations to you both. I mean, keep up the good work, and obviously it's 100 years strong, and another 100 years. Can't guarantee we're going to be here talking about it in 100 years, but you never know. You never know. And so I'll direct people to the MRMTA.org website for more information about the upcoming scholarship competition, how to enter, also about the conference coming up in July, where it'll be the national competition here in Winnipeg this year.
You bet.
This year,
2019.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you here this morning. So again, best of luck and have fun this January and then in July as well, hosting the event.
Thank you for this opportunity.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
so much.
My pleasure. I've been in conversation Tiffany Wilson and Leanne Hiebert, the past president and the president of the MRMTA. You can go to mrmta.org for more information and details about the organization. I mean, if you're looking for a teacher, again, they've got a djembe teacher there, so I know there's a lot of people wanting to learn the djembe. So, and piano and violin, I'm sure, of course.